There is something most have never fully seen. And it's not because it is hidden, but because it is so close and so constant, it is usually overlooked. It is this body. You were given a body. You were given senses. You were given the capacity to feel, to see, to hear, to taste, to touch. And most never ask why. They search beyond the body. They try to escape it and override it and manage it. And they speak of the body as if it's in the way. But the body was never the problem. It is not a shell. It is not a trap. And it's not something to transcend. The body is how life is known. Not in thought, but in contact. Not in theory, but in an experience. And until that is seen clearly, the deeper peace that is longed for remains just out of reach. And today I want to begin with this. Not how to fix the body, not how to silence it, but how to understand why it was given and what it is quietly offering in every moment. You were not placed into this body by chance. And it was not given to punish you or to test you or to distract you from something that's more important. It was given to you to allow something to be known that cannot be known without it. And there are things that cannot be realized through thinking. There are truths that do not arise through silence alone. There are openings that happen only through living, only through contact with life as it is. And this body, your body, makes that possible. It is not who you are, but it is the way through which what you truly are becomes known. Without a body, there is no taste. There is no warmth of the sun on the skin, no sound of breath, no meeting of eyes or pause in a conversation, or weight of grief resting in the chest. The formless cannot be remembered without some form to be remembered through. And this human life, this is the form you have been given, not to escape, but to meet, and not to control, but to understand. And the body is the exact structure needed for you to come to stillness in the midst of experience, to respond instead of reacting, to rest instead of flee, to allow instead of resist. And not because the body is perfect, but because it is real and present and here. And if you cannot be here in this body, you cannot be here at all. many who walk the path of healing or spirituality or growth or awakening, they reach a point where they begin to turn away from the body. And it's not consciously, but it's subtly and it's quietly. And there is a belief that begins to form, often shaped by well-meaning teachings and traditions, that the body is a problem that needs to be overcome, that the senses are distractions, and that the goal is to rise above experience, to become untouched by it. And so the body becomes something to silence. The senses become something to control. And life becomes something to observe from a distance rather than something that we can meet directly. But this way of seeing creates division. It creates a gap between what is real and what is believed. Because the body was never meant to be bypassed, and your senses were never the enemy. And this life is not in the way of truth. It is the place where truth is remembered. And you're not here to float above life. You are here to be in it, still, present, undivided. And this is not detachment. It is not a withdrawal. It is not spiritualized avoidance. It is something much quieter than that, much more honest. It is full presence in the body, in the senses, in the moment. And this is what most seekers miss. Not because they are unworthy, but because they were not shown how to stay. You were given senses, not by accident and not as a trap. The senses are not something to shut down or to grow out of or spiritualize away. They are precise and they are intelligent. And they are the way through which you come into contact with what is real. But for most, the senses are dulled. And they're overused, overstimulated, or they're entirely disconnected. The body is moving, but the awareness is just not there. And so the moment is missed. The senses are not wrong. They have simply never been understood. And now let's talk about sight. Seeing is not just about the eyes. It's about how you meet what is in front of you. Is your gaze soft or hard? Are you trying to take something in, or are you simply available to it? In presence, sight becomes less about looking at and more about seeing with. Seeing then becomes relational. You no longer scan for meaning or judgment. You simply see. And what is seen softens. And what about our hearing? Sound enters not only through the ears, but through the skin, through the chest, through the whole system. And most listen to respond. Most hear only the surface of what is being said. But when there is presence, the tone of a voice carries weight. The silence between words says more than the words themselves. Even the ordinary sounds, like footsteps, the wind, the breath, a teacup, begin to register differently when you are still. And hearing is not passive. It is receptivity. And what about touch? Touch is not just about contact. It is how the body recognizes what is near and what is real. And most move through life brushing past things. We're rarely aware of what is actually being felt. But when touch is met from presence, even something simple like fabric against the skin, it reminds the system that you are here. And touch brings the awareness back into the body. It reorientates, it settles. It allows the moment to become physical, not just mental. And what about smell? Smell is often ignored, but is one of the most immediate ways the body responds to the world. A scent can bring a memory. It can soothe, it can trigger, it can soften the breath or cause tension to rise. In presence, scent becomes information, not to interpret, but to allow. To notice what shifts when it enters. And smell is part of how the body senses safety. And it is also part of how it knows it is alive.